I freaking saw it, and what did I think? This is my review on Star Wars The Force Awakens. Star Wars The Force Awakens is the 7th episode in the Star Wars series and is not a prequel, obviously because it's episode 7. This is the first actual sequel that we have seen since Return of the Jedi from the 80s, and that's why everybody's freaking out, because this is an actual sequel to the original trilogy of Star Wars. And after I heard that Disney was making it, after I heard that J.J. Abrams was directing it, I was so on board. And you guys know me, I've been doing trailer reactions to this movie for the past year, okay? Ever since December of 2014. I've been hooked on any piece of information I can get on this movie. This wasn't just information. I saw the movie tonight, and what did I think of it? Here's my review on Star Wars The Force Awakens. So yes, I am a huge fan of the Star Wars series. I watched all the movies with my dad as a kid, and after Revenge of the Sith, I felt like there was this emptiness inside me because it was kind of like the end of a series. And I kind of laid off Star Wars for a while. I liked it, I watched the movies time to time, but there was a time for me where I realized that Star Wars was over. And then when I heard that they were making a new Star Wars film with director J.J. Abrams, a part of me just felt whole again. I love J.J. Abrams films a lot. I watched Star Trek in 2009, and I just thought it was a really good retake on Star Trek, the series, and it was such a fresh take on Star Trek. And when I heard a couple years ago that J.J. Abrams was attached to direct a new Star Wars movie by Disney, I felt like going to his house, okay, and giving him a hug. And I picture him going like, everything's gonna be okay. I'm gonna take care of it. That's how stoked I was for JJ to be a part of the new Star Wars film. And how did he do? How did he do on the new Star Wars film? Guys, this is hands down one of the best films I have seen in 2015. I was worried because I was excited for what movie was it? Oh yeah, Avengers Age of Ultron. Okay, I was excited for that. I'm a huge Marvel dude. And when I went to go see Age of Ultron, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was an okay movie. And I just, it was a sequel to the Avengers. Nothing more. And that's kind of what I was afraid of when going into Star Wars The Force Awakens. I was afraid that it was just gonna be okay. I had that in my mindset, and I think a lot of people had that in their mindset. But that is not the case! It's actually really good! Star Wars The Force Awakens, it exceeded my expectations. It was so good. It was so amazing. And if you guys love the original trilogy, you are going to love this film. You are probably never going to watch those crappy prequel films ever again. Star Wars The Force Awakens is the ideal Star Wars film. And I'm so glad that I got to witness it. All right, so let's get on to the plot. And don't worry, I'm not gonna go into any spoilers whatsoever. This is the actual plot. So if you don't wanna know, anything about the plot, you might wanna X out of this video. But I'm not gonna go into any spoilers whatsoever. I'm gonna have a spoiler review right after this. And yeah, let's get started with the plot of Star Wars The Force Awakens. So, the movie is basically about Luke Skywalker. He's gone, he has vanished, and nobody can find him. Nobody can find Luke Skywalker anywhere. And there's this new version of the Empire that has risen. It's called the First Order. And they are trying to track down Luke Skywalker, but nobody can find him whatsoever. Not even the Resistance can find Luke Skywalker. And then these new characters arise in the story, Rey and Finn, and they're helping out Han Solo and the Resistance find Luke Skywalker in this film. However, they're being tracked down by the new villain, Kylo Ren. Now let's talk about the characters real quick. I loved each and every character in this film. It brought so much freshness to characterization in Star Wars. If you go back to the prequels, the dialogue is crap. Everybody acts like a robot. Nobody's actually human in the prequels. No one whatsoever. When I watched this film though, everybody felt like a real human being. Especially Finn. Holy crap. Oh my god. This guy was so likable. Basically, he starts out as a stormtrooper and he's trying to get out of it. He doesn't agree with what the First Order is doing, and he actually ends up helping a pilot in the film called Poe Dameron. And I think that's just really relatable. Somebody who is a part of something, who is forced to be a part of something, and they're just I don't want to do this anymore, I'm gonna go off and do the right thing. And then we have this character named Rey, who is a scavenger who was left on a planet called Jakku, and she's just kind of waiting for her life to proceed on this planet. But after meeting Finn, she goes on this adventure. And then on this adventure, they meet the original characters from the Star Wars films. And it was so awesome. It was so awesome seeing each and every character from the original series come back. When an original character appeared on the screen, there were gasps in the audience, guys. It was so nostalgic. We've had a lot of nostalgic movies over the past year. Jurassic World, Terminator Genesis. Oh my god, I just used Terminator Genesis as an example. Mad Max. This year has just been a year of nostalgia. And it ended with Star Wars The Force Awakens. If you are a person who enjoys nostalgia, you are going to love this film. If you are a fan of the original Star Wars series, you are going to love this film. Characters from the original series appear in this, and you're just like, I'm so glad that you're back. I'm so glad that you're a part of this. Thank you. Thank you, J.J. Abrams, for like bringing the original series back and bringing these characters back. It was just so amazing. And you did it with this fresh take too. You not only brought like older characters back, but you brought these newer characters that I want to see more of. It was so awesome. It was so awesome. Thank you so much, J.J. Abrams. This is the best Christmas gift I have ever gotten. You even gave us a really cool villain, Kylo Ren. And I'm not gonna go into spoilers about Kylo Ren or his background, but let's just say, I want to know more about Kylo Ren because this guy was awesome. He's basically like Darth Vader, but Darth Vader 2.0. Probably like Darth Vader 10.0. He's freaking awesome. He's more agile and he's just more menacing. And he gets angry a lot. And if you've seen the movie, you'd probably know what I mean. And oh my god, guys, BB-8. BB-8 was so cute. He was so adorable. Oh my god. When I saw him in the movie, I totally forgot about R2-D2. When we think of Star Wars and we think of adorableness, sometimes we think of R2-D2. Like R2-D2 is just like one of those like cool little droids. Like he's like awesome. But when I saw BB-8 in this film, he just vanished out of my mind. Because BB-8, I think he has just stolen the role from R2-D2 as cutest droid ever. Like, he just rolls around and he's like, got the coolest gestures. He turns his head like this and it's just, it's so adorable. When you watch this film, you are definitely gonna think that BB-8 is one of the cutest and most memorable parts of Star Wars The Force Awakens. I'm sorry, R2, I love you, but BB-8. And by God, this movie was great, but there was a sad moment in this film. Like, grown men were crying. I'm not gonna go into spoilers, but let's just leave it at that. Holy crap. Let's talk about the special effects too in this movie. If you view the original trilogy, it's not all just about lightsabers like those stupid prequels. There's actually like battleship fighting in this film. And they brought that back into this film. There's so much battleship fighting. It is awesome. And I wanted to see more battleship fighting in this film, and I got it. And here's a problem that the prequels had too. There was so much usage of lightsaber. I mean, I like lightsaber battles and stuff like that, but like, there was so much of it in the prequels. Like, they were just everywhere, like, but in this, they made the lightsaber special again. When Fenn uses it, like you see in the trailers, when you see it the first time, the lightsaber just feels like a grand weapon. When you see it, it is just special again. When you see it, there's a big deal, and there's grandness to it. And I think that's amazing. Probably the main problem that I have with the film, and this is actually, no, this is not a problem whatsoever. It's kind of a problem that a lot of people are having. And I'm going to reference those problems because you guys have probably been reading the reviews on Star Wars. And, you know, it's not really a problem, but like I can see why people have been criticizing this portion of the film. So yes, this film is a lot like the original trilogy. And when I was watching it, it reminded me a lot of one of the films. I'm not gonna go into spoiler of what film it could have been like, you know, copying, but once you see the film, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. And like I said, I'm gonna be talking about this in my spoiler review. When you're watching this movie, you're definitely gonna be thinking of a prior film. And to me, that was okay. It wasn't like they copied the exact plot of one of the films, but to me, I felt like it was honoring one of the films. So yeah, JJ, I have no problem with you doing that whatsoever. I thought it was really cool. And another problem that I'm seeing, and I can see why a lot of people are talking about this, I totally understand, especially with like merchandising and like, you know, favorite action figures. There's not a lot of screen time for some of the characters, specifically Poe Dameron, who is introduced in the first minutes of the film and is absolutely likable, really funny dude. However, you don't see him that much in the film, but when you do, it's really enjoyable. And Captain Phasma, which I don't really know much about Captain Phasma, even after watching this film. I know she's like, you know, the commander of the stormtroopers, but in a way, she's kind of like the Boba Fett of the film. She looks really cool. She looks really awesome. However, we just don't see a lot of her at all. But I think people are seeing her and are like, oh, she looks really cool. I want to invest more into her. You can't just want more of a character just because they look cool, guys. Like, that's not how that works whatsoever. I know she looks cool, but you know, that's not how it works whatsoever. But, you know, we're getting more Star Wars films, so maybe we'll see more of her in the 8th film. I heard somewhere in an article that she was going to probably be the main villain in the 8th film. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that would be pretty cool. I'd be pretty accepting of that. So yeah, guys, that was my review on Star Wars The Force Awakens. J.J. Abrams, thank you so much for bringing this series back and bringing freshness into it. It was amazing. And I'm really sorry that you're not going to be directing the 8th one. But all right, let's give it to a new director. Let's see what freshness they can bring to the Star Wars series. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for checking out my review on Star Wars The Force Awakens. This movie was amazing. Go check it out. If you don't, you're not human. Comment down below what you thought of the movie if you've seen it yet. Like the video, share it, and please subscribe to Pixel Talk. And don't worry, I'm going to be posting a spoiler review in the next day or two. I really want to talk about this movie, but I can't because I want you guys to go see it. And I want you to experience this new and awesome take on Star Wars. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I am Corbin Stuckey, and this is Pixel Talk.